students. So the second topic of discussion today in modern India would be the rise of independent kingdoms. So already I've done the chapter number 1, the rise of Peshwas. We start with modern India. So in continuation with the rise of Peshwas, the second topic what I'm taking today would be the rise of independent kingdoms. What is this rise of independent kingdoms? What exactly happened? It was this period in 1707, Aurangzeb died. With the death of Aurangzeb, Bahadur Shah won. His son succeeded the throne, and there were lots of internal conflicts in the Mughal Empire. And one of the reasons we see for the decline of Mughal Empire was Aurangzeb. His fanatic policies, the way he attacked and annexed kingdoms, the manner and the behavior, what he inflicted to the Jats, to the Sikhs, to the Marathas, to the Rajputs, were all highly irritable in character. So people were wanting a choice or were waiting for something that they would attack or revolt or declare independence from the Mughal Empire. So this is the situation. And with the Mughal Empire, when the Mughals were, the later Mughal rulers were ruling, like, we have Bahadur Shah I, followed by Jahandar Shah, then we had Farooq Siyar, we had Rafi-ud-Darajat, Rafi-ud-Daula, Muhammad Shah Rangila. We'll do the Mughal ruler chapter separately. So during the time of Muhammad Shah Rangila, that is from 1719 to 1749, lots of important events took place. And it was during that Muhammad Shah Rangila's period, there were many kingdoms which declared independence. So there were three kind of states during this period. One, we call it as successive states. The successive states who succeeded the Mughal Empire. So they were a part of the Mughal Empire, but in reality, they behaved like an independent kingdom. So who were those states? These states were Bengal, and these states were Awadh, and the state was Hyderabad. So these three states, we can call it as the successive states. The second state, we can call it as the rebellious states. So who were fighting with the main kingdom, that is the Jats. We can call them as Sikhs. Then we can call them as the kingdom of Mysore. So getting it, then we have the Rohilla kingdom, the Rohillas. So they were all the rebellious states. Then we have the next state called the regional powers. That is kind of behaving into a neutrality. And, we can put the Rajputs here. Then we can put the kingdom of Travancore, etc. So in short, during Muhammad Shah Rangila, the kingdom broke and got scattered like this only. So we are just going to discuss few important aspects of what happened in these states. Getting it to begin with, I start with the kingdom of Bengal. See, Bengal in 1717, during the time of Farooq Siyar, there was a governor of Bengal called Murshid Quli Khan. So he was the first Nawab of Bengal, one of the greatest Nawab, highly intelligent, consolidated Bengal and made it intact. There were lots of oppression at Bengal at that time by the revenue officials and the zamindars, and it was Murshid Quli Khan who suppressed them all and introduced a kind of an economic model. So after Murshid Quli Khan, there were the next Nawabs going on. We don't want them because they're all not that important. The second Nawab we are taking into importance is Alivardi Khan, who was the governor of Bihar during Murshid Quli Khan. Again, a considerate Nawab, continued to rule Bengal, and this Alivardi Khan was succeeded by his grandson Siraj-ud-Daula. And it was during Siraj-ud-Daula's period, the Battle of Plassey took place between the Britishers and the Nawab, where Siraj was killed. So once Plassey got over, the Britishers almost took control of Bengal because the main aim of the battle was they wanted a puppet Nawab. And Siraj was a very young, energetic, and a kind of a sovereign Nawab. So they killed Siraj, and now the Britishers appointed his Mir Bakshi called Mir Jafar as the Nawab of Bengal. So when Bengal was going on with Mir Jafar, Britishers, felt that Mir Jafar was aligning with the Dutch. So they dethroned Mir Jafar and they appointed Mir Qasim as the next Nawab. So Mir Qasim aligned with Shuja-ud-Daula and Shah Alam, the Mughal ruler, and the historic Battle of Buxar was fought. And they all were defeated. The Treaty of Allahabad was signed in 1765, by which Bengal virtually entered into the hands of the Britishers. Study it like a story, study the characters, you will get history. The compound history will naturally enter you, and you'll be able to write lovely answers. The second one is the kingdom of Awadh. So the most important ruler, the founder of the kingdom of Awadh was Saadat Khan Burhan-ul-Mulk, a noble from the court of Delhi during Rangila. And we see a very powerful Nawab called Shuja-ud-Daula, who disliked the Marathas' existence in North India, particularly Delhi. So this Shuja-ud-Daula, he actually aligned with Ahmad Shah Abdali and did not want the Marathas to continue to hold Delhi. And he supported Abdali in the third battle of Panipat, and where the Marathas were badly defeated, and that was Shuja. Shuja was a great warrior, but in 1764, Shuja was defeated by the Britishers, and he, with the Treaty of Allahabad, surrendered Allahabad and Kara to the Britishers, and finally proclaimed to be loyal to the East India Company. From the Treaty of Allahabad till 1856, all the Nawabs of Awadh were loyal to the company. At times, they even handed over their administration. During the time of Nawab Wajid Ali Shah in 1856, on the pretext of misrule, Dalhousie annexed Awadh. So when he annexed Awadh and jailed the Nawab, his wife was Begum Hazrat Mahal. She participated in the revolt of 1857 as a mark of retaliation with the company. So that's the story about Awadh. Then we have the story of Hyderabad, a very powerful noble from the court of Delhi called Nizam-ul-Mulk Asaf Jah, the founder of the kingdom of Hyderabad. It was also called as the Asaf Jahi dynasty. So after his death, his son Nizam-ul-Mulk Asaf Jah, his son Nasir Jung became the Nizam of Hyderabad. Then after him, his son Muzaffar Jung, Asaf Jah's grandson, became the next Nizam of Hyderabad. After that, we have Salabat Jung, another son of Asaf Jah, to be the Nawab of Nizam of Hyderabad. So these Hyderabad Nawabs had many local issues. They were against Hyder Ali. They were constantly fighting. And it was during this period we have the famous Carnatic Wars coming up. So these three states, we collectively call it as the successive states of India. Now coming on to the rebellious states, the first state we have the Jats. The Jats were agricultural group. They were peasants of Mathura. We see the emergence of Jats during the role of Ghazni. So in 1661, there was a Jat leader called Gokhla who fought with Aurangzeb, and in the Battle of Tilpat, Gokhla was killed. Since their leader was killed, all the Jats assembled together and they wanted to fight the Mughals. So two Jat leaders emerged called Churaman and Badan Singh, who established an independent kingdom for Jats at Bharatpur. And later, the glory of Jats reached with Suraj Mal, the Plato of Jats. 1756, almost Suraj Mal was a very powerful one, and he requested and advised all the Jats to settle nearby the areas of Mughals. So they were like, and Suraj Mal helped the Marathas to escape from the third battle of Panipat. So that was one thing where they were aligning with each other. The next important kingdom was Sikhs. See, Sikhs, when you look at them, they became very powerful during medieval India, and we have the 10 gurus in existence. After the death of the 10th guru, Guru Gobind Singh, Tej Bahadur, his governor general, his commander was Banda Bairagi. So Banda Bairagi established himself as a true Sikh, as a leader of the Sikhs. And Banda Bairagi was killed by Farooq Siyar, the Mughal ruler. So after that, the Sikhs all got scattered. And now what happened? Missiles started coming up in North India. There were 12 missiles in North India. The one missile popular being the Sukar Chakya missile founded by Mahan Singh at Lahore. His son was Ranjit Singh of Lahore. So the Sikhs' glory became very powerful under Maharaja Ranjit Singh, who became the ruler of Punjab. His darbar was the Lahore Darbar. And the only group which defeated the Afghans was the Sikhs under Ranjit Singh. So he had a very great commander-in-chief called Zorawar Singh, who literally chased the Afghans. So Afghans had a bad cut with the Sikhs. So the reforms of Ranjit Singh play a very, very important role. And it was during Lord Ranjit Singh, Lord Minto, in 1809, signed the Treaty of Amritsar, or the Metcalfe Treaty, or the Friendship Treaty, where the Britishers and the Sikhs became cordial with each other. Then in 1832, Lord William Bentinck signed the Treaty of Indus Water Navigation Treaty, where the waters of Indus were allowed to the company to, navigate. So Ranjit Singh died in 1839 when the first Anglo-Afghan war was beginning. So this is about the Sikhs. Then comes the kingdom of Mysore. Two great rulers, Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan. So you need to learn them in little bit detail, because the great father, great son. Hyder became the ruler of Mysore in 1761 and fought two great wars with the Britishers, the First Anglo-Mysore War and the Second Anglo-Mysore War. In the middle of the war, Hyder died in 1782. So his son Tipu Sultan became the next ruler. So he continued the war, but he was not able to continue. So the Treaty of Mangalore was signed, and Tipu fought the Third Anglo-Mysore War and the Fourth Anglo-Mysore War with the Britishers. And in 1799, during Lord Wellesley, Tipu was not able to win the war and he shot himself dead. So the kingdom of Mysore were restored to the Udayar dynasty. So these are all called as the rebellious states. Then the Rohilla kingdom. Rohilkhand, it was created by a king called Muhammad Ali. So they were also, supporting each other, but they were hardcore enemies of the Mughals. Coming on to the regional power, the Rajputs. Rajputs, after the fall of Aurangzeb, decided to take a policy of isolation. So they never wanted to enter into the main politics of Delhi. So they isolated themselves and began to concentrate on internal reforms. Then comes the kingdom of Travancore, the most important king being Raja Marthandavarman. So the only Indian kingdom which defeated the Dutch in the Battle of Kulachal was Marthandavarman, a very supportive ally of Britishers. Hyder and Tipu constantly threatened the kingdom of Travancore. To support Travancore, the East India Company fought battles with Mysore. See, when you look at all these kingdoms, they were friends of, some kingdoms were friends of each other. Let's take it like Bengal and Awadh were supporting each other, but some kingdoms were enemies of each other. Let's take Mysore was against Hyderabad. Getting it? Mysore was against Travancore. So, like that, getting it? And even Awadh was against Marathas. So, they were constantly fighting with each other. And this was the political condition of India when the later Mughals were ruling India and we had a fragmented polity. So, generally, we get a question: how was India after the death of Aurangzeb? So, these are the overall crux about the independent states which emerged in around 1720s during the rule of Muhammad Shah Rangila. Thank you.